The sound of the shower was my only shield, a curtain of water between me and the world I was running from. My heart hammered against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat that seemed louder than the spray hitting the tiles. I was huddled in a stranger's bathroom, a fugitive in a floral-scented sanctuary. How did I get here? It all started a few hours ago, with a slammed door and the echo of my father's rage. It wasn't a single fight. It was the culmination of years of walking on eggshells, of trying to be the perfect, invisible daughter. But tonight, the shell had cracked. The argument was about my future, or rather, the one he had meticulously planned for me. Prestigious university I didn't want, a career path that felt like a cage, and a suitable fiancé I'd never even met. When I finally found the courage to say no, the storm broke. His words became thunder, his glare lightning. It wasn't just anger. It was a cold, possessive fury that terrified me. He locked my door, took my phone, and said I wasn't leaving until I saw a reason. Panic gave me strength. I climbed out my bedroom window, my feet finding purchase on the old oak tree just outside. I ran without a destination, just a desperate need for distance. The city streets, usually so familiar, felt alien and menacing. Every shadow seemed to hold a threat, every passing car a potential danger. I stumbled into an apartment building with a propped-open door, my lungs burning, and just kept climbing stairs until I found another unlocked door. It felt like a sign, a whisper of hope. I slipped inside, silent as a ghost, and the sound of running water drew me in. It was an impulse, a primal need to hide, to wash away the fear. So I found myself here, trembling in a stranger's shower, behind a translucent curtain, praying I hadn't just made the biggest mistake of my life. The water suddenly stopped. Silence descended, thick and heavy. I held my breath, trying to merge with the tiled wall. Footsteps, slow, deliberate. A towel rustled. I could see a blurry silhouette through the curtain. A man. My heart leaped into my throat. This was it. I was about to be discovered, thrown out, or worse. The curtain slid open. I flinched, squeezing my eyes shut, bracing for the inevitable scream or shout, but it never came. When I dared to open my eyes, I saw him. He was just standing there, a towel wrapped around his waist, water dripping from his dark hair. His eyes, a warm shade of brown, weren't angry. They were confused and maybe a little concerned. He didn't yell. He just looked at me. This soaking wet, terrified girl crouched in his tub and said, in a voice much calmer than I deserved, "Are you okay?" I couldn't speak. A sob escaped me instead, a raw, ragged sound. His expression softened instantly. Hey, it's all right," he said gently. "You're safe. Just stay right there. Let me get you a towel." He backed away slowly, as if not to startle a wild animal, and disappeared for a moment. He returned with a large, fluffy towel and a t-shirt, placing them on the edge of the tub. "Here," he said. "You look like you're freezing." I was. My whole body was shaking, a mix of cold and adrenaline. I numbly took the offering, my fingers fumbling. He averted his eyes, giving me a semblance of privacy. "My name is Leo," he said, his voice coming from the other side of the bathroom. "Making some tea. Do you want some?" I managed a small, shaky nod, though I wasn't sure he could see it. I quickly wrapped myself in the towel and pulled on the oversized shirt. It smelled clean, like him, like safety. When I emerged from the bathroom, he was in the small kitchen, pouring hot water into 2 mugs. The apartment was simple but cozy. A well-loved guitar leaned against a bookshelf overflowing with books. It felt like a calm, gentle space, a world away from the cold, sterile mansion I called home. He handed me a mug, his fingers brushing against mine, a tiny spark. So he began, leading me to a small couch. "Want to tell me what's going on? Or we can just sit in silence." Dear call. The kindness in his eyes was my undoing. The story spilled out of me, the years of pressure, the fight, the escape. I told him everything, expecting judgment or maybe disbelief. Instead, he just listened. He nodded in all the right places, his gaze never leaving my face. He didn't interrupt, didn't offer empty platitudes. He just gave me the space to be heard, something I hadn't realized I was so starved for. When I finished, my voice hoarse, he was quiet for a long moment. "I'm so sorry you went through that," he said finally. "No one should have to live like that, my dad." Let's just say I understand the feeling of needing to escape. He looked at the guitar in the corner. Music was my escape. Still is. We talked for hours. He told me about his band, his dream of making music for a living, the odd jobs he worked to pay the bills. I told him about my secret passion for painting, a dream my father had dismissed as a frivolous hobby. With Leo, I didn't feel like a runaway or a problem. I felt like me, the first time someone saw the real me. Not the heiress, not the disappointment, but the girl who loved the smell of turpentine and the chaos of colors on a canvas. He offered me his couch, no questions asked. I was hesitant, a burden. "Don't be silly," he said. He's reading my mind. "It's the least I can do for the girl who decided my shower was the city's newest safe house." He smiled, and I felt my own lips curve in response. It was the first real smile I'd had all night. Lying on his couch, wrapped in a warm blanket, the city lights twinkling outside the window, I felt a strange sense of peace. I was in a stranger's apartment, my future completely uncertain, but I wasn't scared anymore. Sleep came easily, filled with dreams not of running but of painting vibrant canvases and the sound of a gentle guitar melody. The next morning the smell of coffee filled the air. Leo was already up, a little rumpled, but with that same kind smile. "Morning shower crasher," he teased. He'd made breakfast, simple toast and jam, but it felt like a feast. We ate in comfortable silence, the unspoken question of what now, hanging in the air. "I can't go back," I said, breaking the silence. "But I have nowhere else to go." He looked at me, his expression serious. "You can stay here," he said, without a moment's hesitation. "For as long as you need, we'll figure it out. Together. Together." The word echoed in my chest. In less than 24 hours, this stranger, this kind musician, had shown me more compassion and understanding than my own family had in years. Hiding in his shower had been a desperate, reckless act, but it had led me here to him. It led me to a place where I felt not just safe, but seen. The days that followed were a blur of discovery. Leo helped me find a prepaid phone and contact my one trusted friend to let her know I was okay. Introduced me to his world of late-night jam sessions, cheap pizza, and passionate debates about art and life. I started painting again, using some old supplies he had stashed in a closet. A small apartment filled with my canvases, each one a burst of the freedom I was finally feeling. One evening, we were sitting on the fire escape, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of orange and pink. Leo was softly strumming his guitar, a new melody he'd been working on. It was beautiful, a little melancholy, but full of hope. "That's for you," he said quietly, his eyes meeting mine. "I'm calling it The Girl in the Shower." I laughed, a real happy laugh. My heart felt so full it might burst. In that moment, looking at him, the city humming below us, and a future that was finally my own stretching out before me, I knew I wasn't running away from something anymore. I was running toward something, toward him. I leaned in and kissed him. It was soft and tentative at first, then deeper, a silent confirmation of everything we hadn't said. It wasn't a fairy tale kiss that solved all my problems. My father was still out there, my old life was in ruins. But it was a kiss full of promise. It was the start of a new story, one we would write together. Turns out sometimes you have to hide in a stranger's shower to find where you truly belong. And my home, I realized, wasn't a place. It was a person. It was Leo. Thanks for watching our story today. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. We love bringing these narratives to life, and your support makes it all possible. See you in the next video.